Hello, you're welcome to another educative, insightful, and informative edition of Diplomatic Affairs. My name is Harriet Nate, and as you can see, we are coming to you from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. On this episode of Diplomatic Affairs, we have a compilation of all the interesting issues or subjects that are happening in the diplomatic community in Ghana and around the world. I will share them with you right after this break. Righty, welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nate. Now, to our first story, we are taking you all the way to the Jubilee House, where 4 new envoys accredited by their respective countries have presented their credentials to President Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House. The envoys are Virginia Evelyn Palmer, the new head of mission of the United States of America to Ghana, Kamis Baka Ibrahim Hassam, the ambassador of Libya to Ghana, and also Fahat Aisha, the High Commissioner of Pakistan to Ghana, and finally Said Abeloko, ambassador of Gabon to Ghana. Let's take you to the Jubilee House.
Mr. President, the dedication accompanying the ambassador designate of the United States.
It's my honor to present to you the letters of credence from President Joseph Biden, accrediting me to serve as the ambassador to the Republic of Ghana, and the letters of recall of my predecessor. Thank you very much. To strengthen the very strong partnership that the United States and Ghana enjoy. And that's very broad from our historical and cultural ties. And I've talked a lot recently about what Ghana meant at independence to Americans who were struggling for justice at home, and what you have continued to mean to many Americans. And we have great military-to-military cooperation. We have $2.7 billion in bilateral trade, a number I hope we can grow. There is new Ghanaian investment in the United States, and I'm looking forward to bringing more American companies to Ghana to join the 100 American companies that are already headquartered here. So I think there is much that we can do together, and I am very honored to serve and to work with you and your colleagues, and very grateful for the very warm welcome that my husband Ismail and I have already experienced in the 6 weeks that we've been in Ghana. Thank you very much.
So, Madam Ambassador, first of all, let me welcome you very warmly to the seat of the presidency of our country, and to congratulate you on your appointment as the ambassador of the United States to us here in Ghana. It's always good news for us. We're always very happy to receive American diplomats in Ghana. The relations between our two countries is very, very well founded. So many common values between us, especially the commitment to democratic governance and legitimacy. And of course, relations that are also founded on deep cultural ties. We have hundreds, not hundreds, but millions and millions of what we consider our Ghanaians in America. Apart from modern Ghanaians, there are the historical Ghanaians who are there as well. So there are the basis for a strong relationship are there, and I'm hoping that in your time and in my time, we're going to have an opportunity to grow them even more. Appreciate very much the work that the President is doing on the world stage. We are unequivocally supportive of all initiatives that conduce to freedom and to the enlargement of democratic values across the globe. And we know that that is a fight that President Biden is fully committed to and engaged on. And he has our support in that exercise. The trade relations between our countries are growing more and more. We're hoping to see even further growth. But beyond everything else, what is my ambition, my personal ambition, is that before I get off this seat, that we will have an American investment in Ghana of the size of the Falco agreement that was signed between Kwame Nkrumah and Edgar Kaiser that brought the Akosombo power. Since then, we've not had an American investment in our country of that size and dimension. And we're going to have to sit down and work on one and hopefully concretize it while I'm here. But you're very welcome to Ghana. We're happy to have you here. Your predecessor did a lot of very good work, which was highly appreciated by us. And we know from your own record and familiarity with the continent that you're going to build on that strongly when you're here. So you're welcome. And we welcome your husband as well. And hopefully that you'll enjoy your stay here in Ghana. Here are some of the key figures in the government. We have the historic woman, the first Ghanaian female chief of staff to the president in our history. Next to her is the secretary to the president, the deputy minister for foreign affairs, and a member of parliament also for Tatali, and the deputy chief of staff at the presidency. These are all officials who are here to assist you succeed in your mission, anything that you need. And I myself will always have an open door whenever you find it necessary to be here, to be characterized by even stronger relations between the United States of America and Ghana for that end. So I want you to join me in a toast to the welfare and health of President Biden, the prosperity of the American people, and the relations of good standing between Ghana and the United States of America.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I will add a toast to your health and
Thank you.
continued success.
President of Ghana present to you His Excellency Mr. Hamid Ibrahim Hassan, Ambassador Designate of the State of Israel. Ambassador Designate of the State of Libya.
To present Israel the letter of greatness by which His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Yunus, President of the International Council of the State of Libya, appointed as President of the Historical Representation of the State of Libya to Ghana, and a letter of record by the Sasson. Thank you. Commitment, his commitment to deepening the Libya-Ghana relations. So I am very happy, so happy to be here in Ghana, second my home, and I lived for country. So thank you to receive.
So, Ambassador, first of all, let me welcome you warmly to the seat of the presidency of our country, of Ghana, Jubilee House, and also congratulate you on your appointment as the ambassador of the state of Libya to us here in Ghana. We've had very good relations with Libya all through the time of our independence till today, and we're hoping that your period here will help us enhance and advance those relations. We're very concerned about developments in your country, as you know, all of us on the continent, especially those of us in West Africa, because the difficulties, many of the difficulties that we're having here in the West African and ECOWAS space have their origin in the difficulties that have engulfed the Libyan state for some time. And it is our prayer that the current efforts that are being made to put not only the state together, but to prepare the grounds for consensual elections and the turning over a new page in the history of Libya, that they succeed. Ghana is fully committed to putting its modest weight behind all the initiatives that are being taken on the continent to make sure that that process comes to a positive conclusion for the Libyan people. Libya has such an important role to play in the development of the Maghreb as well as the rest of Africa. We want that to be as strong a role as possible, and in the process, that the relations between our two countries too take on added value and added significance. So you're welcome, very welcome here. The officials you see to your left, the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, the Secretary to the President, the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the Deputy Chief of Staff of the Presidency. All of these officials are at your disposal to help you succeed in your mandate as ambassador here, and seek audience and to talk to me. Be rest assured my doors will be fully open to you. So I want to wish you a successful tenure of office here in Accra, that you enjoy your stay. Propose a taste to the good people of Libya and to your success here in Accra.
President, again, present.
As High Commissioner of Pakistan to the Republic of Ghana. At the same time, I have the honor to present the letter of recall of my predecessor. Thank you. The prosperity of Republic of Ghana and its people. I wish to convey his congratulations on your re-election as the President of Republic of Ghana. Taking this opportunity, I also wish to convey the felicitations from the Government of Pakistan on Ghana's membership as a member of the UN Security Council. And I bring good wishes, and it's a historic moment for us to re-establish our resident mission in Accra. It is a testimony of the importance that we attach to our relations with Ghana and the cordial relations which have existed for a long time, and we wish to further strengthen it and revitalize it in multiple fields: political, economic, people to people, and we attach high importance. We see that Ghana is a great country, of great nation, which has a long history of holding the principles and having huge economic potential. And we wish to be partner with you in the future and strengthen this partnership, Mr. President.
So, Madam High Commissioner, first of all, let me welcome you very warmly to the seat of the presidency of our country, to Jubilee House, and to congratulate you on your appointment as High Commissioner here for Pakistan to Ghana. I'm very happy also to hear about the decision that you've taken to reopen a resident mission here in Accra. Relationships between our two countries go back to the very origins of Ghana and its foundations beginning, and we have maintained good relations since then. We want, during your tenure, to see the enhancement of those relationships here between our two countries. Ghana is currently the chair of COMSTATS, and Dr. Junaid came here, I think 3-4 years ago, to prepare for a general meeting of the organization, which was disrupted by the COVID pandemic. And we're hoping that now that things are becoming clearer, that we'll see our way to be able to hosting that conference here in Ghana as quickly as possible. There are several initiatives that were being developed as a part of the COMSTATS arrangements, including an artificial intelligence center to be attached to the University of Ghana, etc. We're hoping that all of those initiatives are going to bear fruit, especially in your time. So you're very welcome here, and we're hoping that our presence in the Security Council too will also add value to the deliberations of the Council in promoting global peace and promoting peace in Southeast Asia and around the world. And we're very, very committed. We've been one of the original 5 founding members of the non-aligned movement, and as such have continued always to espouse the principles of peace and independence of action in the international community of all states, great and small. So we welcome your presence here in Ghana very much.
Thank you.
The officials you see here, the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Chief of Staff, all these officials are at your disposal to facilitate your stay here and enable you of office as ambassador, as High Commissioner to Ghana.
Attention! Harry,
President, I'll be able to present to you His Excellency Mr. Akufo-Addo, Ambassador Desmond of the Commission of Presidency.
Du Gabon m'accrédite en qualité d'ambassadeur extraordinaire et plénipotentiaire en République du Ghana. Et par la même occasion, vous présenter les lettres de rappel de mon prédécesseur.
Your Excellency, it's an honor.
First, I want to wish all my thanks to the Ghanaian authorities to receive me at this lovely country. That the first time I came to Accra, I never been before nominated ambassador here. And Akufo is a secure country, and the pleasure to on my stay was very, very nice. And if I will say something, we say Accra is a nice city. and I introduce you to transmit you the salutation of your colleague, your brother, Ali Bongo Ondimba, His Excellency Ali Bongo Ondimba, the President of the Republic, and say me, give my salutation to my brother, the President of the Ghana. And I hope my stay here and my mission here will be a good mission to make greater relationship between Ghana and Gabon.
So, Ambassador, first of all, let me welcome you warmly to the seat of the presidency of our country, to Jubilee House, and to congratulate you on your appointment as the ambassador of the Republic of Gabon to the Republic of Ghana. I wish you a successful tenure of office. We have very good relations right from the time of Gabon's independence with Ghana. And we're hoping that during your stay here, those relations will be even further heightened and enhanced. I know President Ali Bongo very well. He's a friend, and I'm happy that he has sent you here to represent him here in Ghana. I wish him also, I hope that he's getting stronger and stronger, and wish him the very best of regards from my part. You're welcome here. And together, the work that we do between our two countries and also within the African Union to advance the common cause of all of us Africans is important. Believe that we are members of the Security Council. So together, our collaboration there too will be productive and inure to the benefit of our people and also of our continent. The Chief of Staff of the Presidency is the lady here, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Secretary to the President, the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, and officials of the Presidency. All are at your disposal to make sure that you succeed in your tenure as Ambassador, facilitate your stay here. And whenever you find it necessary to come between our two countries, you're very welcome here. I wish you the very best of luck in your stay. Take the opportunity to propose a toast to you, your success as ambassador here, to the welfare and prosperity of the people of Gabon, and to the good health of President Ali Bongo Ondimba.
God bless.
Where?
Right, so you're still watching Diplomatic Affairs. Now to our second story. We are still on the precedent where the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, embarked on an official visit to Brussels, Belgium. The President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has urged the global community to increase its efforts to help developing countries withstand the devastations caused by the deadly coronavirus pandemic. Now, speaking at the 15th edition of the European Development Days Forum, EDD, in Brussels, Belgium, on Tuesday, 21st of June 2022, the president reiterated the need for the global community to increase efforts to help developing countries to safeguard their economies from the dire effects of COVID-19. He also pointed out that developing economies have had their plight further worsened by the raging Russian-Ukraine conflict. A development, he said, is having a toll on only Ghana and Africa in particular, but also much of the developing countries. Let's take you to Brussels.
I would like now to invite Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, to the stage, please.
To chart a sustainable course for our collective future, particularly that of Europe and Africa. Although the initial response was somewhat flawed, the level of global cooperation witnessed in the fight against the ravages of COVID-19 demonstrates the importance of multilateralism as a progressive tool to finding solutions to the plethora of global issues. The theme chosen for this year's event, Global Gateway, Building Sustainable Partnership for a Connected World, is thus happily apt in view of the times. Excellencies, global efforts to help countries correct the devastation caused by the pandemic and also achieve the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals are coming up short. Finance and investment needs of developing countries have increased as COVID-19 has not only reversed years of progress, but has also revealed critical gaps in infrastructure in areas such as healthcare and digital connectivity. Sadly, the prospects for us in the developing world, making up lost ground through inclusive and sustainable recovery efforts, have been further severely undermined in recent months by the consequences of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which are having a negative impact on commodity and fuel prices, stoking a food crisis, and provoking financial market volatility. Though the bombs might be dropping on cities half a world away, they're hitting our pockets not only in Ghana and in Africa, but also in much of the developing world. Indeed, a recent United Nations report estimates that 70% of Africa's economies are at severe risk from the Russian war in Ukraine. The World Bank tells us that subsequent to the conflict, the number of poor people in sub-Saharan Africa would rise from 413 million to 463 million this year, an increase of 15 million persons. In the midst of this, 18 African economies have experienced credit downgrades, even when all economies are suffering adverse fallout from last year's pandemic. And we in Africa are also facing the risk of the so-called taper tantrums as investors exit our markets, thereby exacerbating the increasing cost of borrowing. At this moment, support for non-IMF program countries to alleviate the debt burden is limited. The initial facility, designed by the G20 countries to offer respite to economies with elevated debt challenges, the Debt Service Suspension Initiative, DSSI, has expired since December 2021 and has not been renewed. Beyond the DSSI, the G20 Common Framework promised a comprehensive solution to the debt issue. To date, The few countries that took on the associated risk by applying have yet to receive the much-needed relief. In these trying times, the amount of $650 billion United States dollar special drawing rights approved for the IMF in August 2021 was meant to provide significant relief. However, based on allocation principles, economies in Africa got a total of only 33 billion United States dollars, about 5%. Moreover, the promise to reallocate some 100 billion United States dollars of the SDR allocations to African economies, agreed to at the Paris Summit in May 2019, has so far yielded about 36 billion United States dollars in pledges as of April 2022. Then there is the matter of the African risk premium, when African entities are borrowing from the market, which increases the cost of capital and which must be addressed, especially as Africa provides the highest return on investments obtainable anywhere and has a good record of debt repayment. Likewise, we must deal together with tax dodging and illegitimate commercial transactions by multinationals, which account for 60% of the annual 88 billion United States dollars of illicit financial flows from the African continent. In this regard, the recent pledge from the G7 countries to exact a new global minimum tax rate of 15% on multinationals, regardless of where they are based, is a step in the right direction, even if the rate is low. The combined effects of debt situation, rising interest rates, and rising cost of living are resulting in severe macroeconomic and financial instability. What is clear is that the ensuing damage cannot be cured so easily with the limited fiscal tools at our disposal and national policy adjustments. Excellencies, the long-standing relationship between Africa and Europe, founded on ties of blood, culture, geography, and history, should serve as a platform for enhanced cooperation between us. Indeed, no one needs to tell us that the issues of peace, progress, and prosperity in Africa and Europe are deeply intertwined, which presuppose that ensuring the development of Africa should be in our common interest. Now more than ever, strong partnership between Europe and Africa, reinforced political dialogue, and expanded cooperation in the fields of economic growth and international security are required. We have to work together to achieve our goals, including a fair, equitable process of energy transition, which recognizes that the entire African continent is responsible for less than 4% of global emissions, and which safeguards the prospects of Africa's development. It is for these reasons that the establishment of the €300 billion Global Gateway Package by the European Union, which aims to boost public and private investment in the areas of infrastructure, energy, and green transition, digital transformation, growth and jobs, transport and human development over the next 7 years is very much welcomed. This package must be innovative in its approaches to infrastructure investments and financing, and should be characterized by demand-driven projects which deliver on African-defined priorities. I'm hopeful that over these 2 days, the series of high-level panel sessions and debates framed around the 5 key investment areas of Global Gateway, that is digital, climate and energy, transport, health, education and research, will produce outcomes that will prove beneficial in the successful implementation of infrastructural developments across Africa. In the next few years, we must be able to see tangible projects across Africa as proof of the fruits of the strategic partnership that exists between Europe and Africa. Excellent relations between Europe and Africa are essential to global security in this 21st century, which should lead us onto the path of shared progress and prosperity.
Let's talk about African diplomacy, where the 54 African nations are currently in Rwanda, in Kigali, Rwanda, for the Commonwealth Heads of State meeting, or Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. The President of Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, right after his meeting in Brussels, proceeded to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda. The summit, which was postponed twice as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, is hosting all 54 African heads of state to reaffirm their common values and build consensus on actions and policies for their common agenda. The official opening of Commonwealth Heads of Government takes place on Friday, 24th June, which is already in session, and is followed by the main high-level meetings of heads on Friday, 24th to Saturday, 25th of June. They are preceded by 4 forums, ministerial meetings, side events, and of course, other activities.
By the way,
Rwandan President Paul Kagame and BioNTech CEO launched on Thursday the construction of a messenger RNA vaccine factory in Kigali. It is Africa's first of 3 planned projects on the continent and aims to produce treatments against COVID-19 and other diseases by early 2024.
BioNTech is researching and developing vaccines and medicines to prevent malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV. These diseases are major causes of mortality on the African continent. We have partnered with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to develop tuberculosis and HIV vaccines, and we are developing malaria vaccines.
Rwanda fully supports BioNTech's commitment to power this factory entirely with green energy, and we will work together closely to achieve that.
Africa is the world's least vaccinated continent against COVID-19. Less than 20% of its 1.2 billion population have received 2 doses of vaccine.
We may not take it for granted that it is that way, but we can work at it and make sure that it is the way we want it. First, to make it common to all of us, that is the understanding. But what is to be taken for granted is that there is a future for us. So I think it is always going to be work in progress, that people will keep harmonizing their different views about what we think, what we have to do, looking at the future and what we want to see in that future. So I think there is already the understanding that we have to work for a common future. So we have to work at that and make sure that we get it. So I think it's work in progress. We are moving towards the point, and I am optimistic that the world has a lot of divergences, but at the same time, on everyone's mind and every nation's vision, there is thinking of that common future.
I think for all of us is that we have a planet to live on in 100 years' time, and that all of us who are living here can do so with access to healthcare and to education, that we can be thriving in our countries, that we can be looking after our natural resources and managing that effectively whilst driving the growth and prosperity of our countries as well. This is not an easy challenge, but I'm enthusiastic about it. I think we see some incredible work being done, and I must admit I'm blown away. My first visit to Rwanda, you have an amazing country, President. And I think, that for me, coming here and having us all together to be able to share our knowledge, share our resources, to help each other to solve these big challenges, that's the common future as I see it. And certainly I'm feeling very bullish that I think we are heading in better directions with that.
Sweden has inaugurated a new honorary consulate general in Accra to deepen bilateral relations and economic cooperation between Ghana and Sweden. Now, speaking at the inauguration, Ms. Nikki Akosa, the honorary consul general, expressed excitement at the gesture and said this would foster relations between Ghana and Sweden. Let's take you to the event, the inauguration here in Accra.
Sustainability, innovation. I would also say gender equality and female empowerment. We are also a very gender equal country in terms of we strive to have equal pay for men and women, career opportunities for women, and not being held back by, for example, giving birth. We have very generous maternity and paternity leave policies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Our last story will be about youth diplomacy. Now, the Obaasima Summit 2022 finally took place right here in Accra at the National Theatre, and we had the pleasure of hosting the Deputy Minister for ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs, Nadia Ahmed Abdallah, who graced the event and also served as the speaker, the main speaker for the night. She focused on the essence of youth diplomacy and how it will serve as a tool to developing the Africa we all aspire to have. So let's take a look at the event.
As at today, the 16th of June, 2022, please, with all due respect, what's happening to the affirmative action bill? What's happening to the affirmative action bill? And you see, that's the reason why we are here for Obaasima Summit. This is why. To have the conversations about ourselves as women, to get the big men and the big women in the room and ask them, sirs, please, what are you doing for us as women? For the majority of the people that you represent, what are you doing for us? And I'm sorry, I'm not shy to say this. I mean, you have time to discuss homosexuality. Yeah, Honorable is laughing and shaking his head like, this girl. Yes. Because the point for me is that I think there's a very systematic failure on the part of leadership when it comes to the Ghanaian woman. And as more than 50% of this population, I think that it's about time that we show some things, not just through laughing, because as women we are told to keep sweet, right? But then to also ask the tough questions and demand that things are done right by us. When we ask for affirmative action bill, we haven't asked for too much.
Building capacity isn't something you're going to wake up to in the morning, one morning, and automatically have it in your hand, is it? It's not, right? Building capacity requires commitment, requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of functioning ways and means. Now, I told you all, I didn't just wake up to become a deputy minister at the age of 29. I was working with the community. My passion lies in the African child and the African girl child. And when I say child, I mean both boy and girl. And when I say girl child, I mean myself and the others that follow. Okay? And so, I used to think, in what way can I be able to build my brand, build my presence, so that I wasn't targeting the president to appoint me. My target was beyond. At the age of 13, I had already identified that I either wanted to be the Secretary General of the United Nations or I wanted to be Oprah Winfrey. And I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One, because I used to be a young girl who talked too much. And in our African setup, a lot of our parents think talkative children are just noisemakers. But they don't know that talkative children are actually the greatest children alive. Yeah? Because talkative children end up being deputy ministers like myself, end up being bigger leaders like others, and so much more. But so my parents saw how I was talking, and they felt if they wanted to keep me quiet, they bought me books. So I kept on reading and reading and reading. Now, they didn't know, the more I was reading, the more I didn't identify as just that girl from a marginalized community, because I come from a marginalized community. We are a minority. They didn't know that it opened up my eyes to know I could do better, do more, be great. And that's where my journey started. When you got to university, I went through an identity crisis because I didn't know whether I wanted to be great, whether I wanted to do business, whether I wanted to do law. I was confused. But what I was not confused about is my power in speaking and writing. And that's how you build capacity. You build capacity when you identify your strengths. I did not, at the beginning, now I know how to make money, but at the beginning, I didn't know how to make money. I was very bad when it comes to maths, so I needed to focus on something that I was good at. And that's something that each and every one of you should leave with today, this summit. There's a question. Is it, if we have a lot of things to do, what do you do? Girl, do everything. Do everything. And the secret? Do it unapologetically. Don't say sorry, don't ask for permission, and don't even fright. See, the tendency of women, we're told we are soft, and it's true. We are soft. We are told we can make decisions, sometimes very sober. It's true, we are that. But there's a problem when it comes to women and even young people. We always wait for someone to open the door for us and tell us, you can now come in. There's nothing like that. Nobody is ever going to open the door for you. Even when the president appointed me as the youngest deputy minister, after I was given the appointment, after I swore in, he didn't open the door for me again. He had already left it open, so he was like, whatever it is now, you go on. And as a young, unmarried woman in a very high position, politically appointed, you can imagine in our African setup the things that I can sometimes face. But let me tell you something. Today you go to Kenya, not even Kenya, even anywhere else, the ones that are close to us, and you ask, do you know Nadia? They'll tell you, yes, we know her. There are two things I'll be identified by. One, being the youngest appointed cabinet member, but two, because I started a campaign in my country called Kenya ni Mimi, which means Kenya is me. Now, why did I start that? Because I wanted to be identified for something in government. When I joined government, I knew that, yes, there are policies, there are programs that are there. But I wanted to know what else can I do, because I'm creating my own legacy. And that's the other thing about building capacity. You have to be identified for something. You have to stand for something. And you have to believe in something. We feel like we are so much behind. So we forget about building our foundation, because one day you can be shaken and you can fall. We start thinking, I need to make it very fast. Identify who you are. Work on yourself. You see, when you go to school, primary, high school, university, we're not taught about ourselves. We're not taught about emotional intelligence. We're not taught about financial management. We're not taught about investment. We're not taught about taking care of your health. We are taught about how to pass exams, which is not bad. Because, trust me, right now, you should follow our politics. You'll understand why education is very important. Okay? But once you leave an educational institution, teach yourself about investments, about financial capacity and sustainability. As women, as we keep growing in the rankings, as we keep building youths, as you keep growing, you need to start being financially stable. That way, you're able to fight things like domestic violence, sexual abuse, period poverty, and so much more. So I want you also, when you leave today, change your mindset and start looking at what is going to give me return on investment. And I'm not only talking about cash, I'm also talking about your talent, the different talents you have. So when you're building capacity, what is the value addition on your life? Because truth be told, everyone is talented. But how are you adding value addition to each and everything you touch, each and everything you see? Okay? And my last point is embracing the voice within yourself. We need to start being true to ourselves. You need to start looking deep down and saying, what do I stand for? Can I talk? Speak for yourself. You feel like something is wrong? Advocate. I want to teach people something today. Do away with being activists. Be an advocate. Advocate for things you don't believe in. Because when you advocate, you're creating a sustainable movement. But when you're an activist, you're fighting things that can never change. Yes. You're fighting things that can never change. Activism is slowly dying because no longer do we want aggressive things. We want assertive things. We want you to be assertive with how you look, how you eat, how you speak. Be diplomatic in what you do. The mistake we make as young people, as young women, is sometimes we want to fight through the doors. As it is, the male counterparts feel like we are replacing them.
This one is called one-legged. Now if you go to a party and everybody's dancing, you know you can't dance. Let's jump to the dance floor. One leg like this. Bounce it. See? Bounce it. Go, go, bounce it. Now you know African dance, you have to go down low, shoulder up, hand gestures, facial expression. Give them. Go, go. One-legged. One-legged.
Well, as always, you know this is your go-to place for news from the diplomatic community in Ghana and around the world. We brought you a compilation of stories emanating from the diplomatic circles in Ghana and abroad. It's been really nice spending time with you, and I do hope that you also enjoyed your time with me. My name is Harriet Nate, and I look forward to seeing you same time next week. Thank you very much for staying with us.